So if the federal government put a lock on my taxes and now the federal government's unlocked them, that means the state of Minnesota should be processing my state check, and that should have been sent out ASAP, right? Because, again, the state of Minnesota does not steal earned income from people. I accused the Minneapolis City Council of stealing rent rebates through the Minneapolis Public Housing Authority. So I was owed some rent rebates that I never got. And I said under Cora McCorvey, Abdi Warsame, my rent rebates should have been sent to me, and they refused to send them to me. I was told that if I didn't claim them after 2 years, I couldn't get them. But as you were stealing my identity, giving me a PIN number, that's when my checks was being stolen. So I said they owed me rent rebates from Minneapolis Public Housing Authority. I claimed that they were trying to go back to the 2006-2007 eviction express scripts and act like I never lived there. I said that under Keith Ellison, Bobby Joe Champion, they were now trying to erase my history and act like I never lived at Minneapolis Public Housing Authority property, 3625 Oliver Avenue North, from 2003 to 2014, Sue Masick. I said that way they could get rid of my foster care. That way, I couldn't be a foster care worker. Somebody said, Sharon, you should not be thinking of daycare. You should not be thinking of doing foster care. And I said, why? They said, you shouldn't. And I said, why? I stopped being a foster care worker, Sue Masick. I said that I declined being a foster care worker 2013 when Sue Masick was going to renew my license. And Sue's exact words to me was, good, now I don't have to retire. And I didn't know what that meant. But later I thought that she might have been accused of discriminating against me, and she was going to have to quit because under the Office of Civil Rights investigation, they found her to be discriminating against me, and they were going to make her quit. But since I declined being a foster parent, they didn't make Sue Masick quit. So for me, I went after the Department of Human Services Foster Care Association, Keenan Cole Lynch, and I said that your family under me might have been owed, and that at 18, Keenan, you would have money due you from the Foster Care Association, Adoption Association from the state of Minnesota, who was discriminating against you from the moment I adopted you. Not under foster care, but 2010 when I began to adopt you and you were now legally my child, I said that's when they were violating my rights through Bobby Joe Champion, the Juvenile Justice Center. So when somebody said I can't be a foster care worker, when somebody said I cannot adopt, when somebody said I couldn't do daycare, I looked at the person saying it to me, Bobby Joe Champion. I then asked Jackie Baker, Jackie, remember when you tried to hook me up with somebody and I dated Michael Cooper Sr.? I asked you that on Facebook. Jackie not answering means that Jackie refused to answer if it was Bobby Joe Champion or Keith Ellison at that time, Roland Baker Jr., and that put me in harm's way. So if Jackie can't remember that around the time when, again, Anitria Lee, right? It's Andrea Lynn, Audria Lee, and Anitria Lee Baker, where, again, Bobby Joe Champion was frequenting your house with your mama, Linda Baker, right? I said, Linda, Jackie, did you try and hook me up with Bobby Joe Champion or Keith Ellison? First, I thought it was Keith Ellison. For some odd reason, I started thinking when Connie asked me, was I sure I didn't know who hit her fence? And I'm telling Connie I didn't know. Like, no, I don't know. And she just kept saying, are you sure? And I'm telling her, yeah, I'm sure. I thought, later, years later, I wonder what I did that day. Like, because I showed Freya waiting. I said, look, on this day, this happened, this happened, this happened. And under the law of pattern, right, I can show a pattern where I thought that I was messing with the court in the morning. The court then went to work, people, female, male, and then sent what I consider to be a uniform with a person in it after me. I said the person in the uniform didn't stand up for me where they used the uniform, so they violated my rights as a group, the judge and the police. That's what I said, Linda Baker. And I said that could be your friends from the 4th Linda Baker. Where that BLO employment you had for so many years, where the BLO police officers, the SROs, might have frequented that area, and you developed a rapport. So when they came to my house to kick my ass, body slam me, and put me in a headlock, it was at your fucking request, and that's why they never paid me for it. They didn't want to pay me for that headlock body slam, where that officer, Jeff Storms, said that he had been accused 14 times of violating people's rights, and one of those 14 was a fatality, loss of life, and then there was me, the headlock, the body slam. So not only wasn't he killing people, the motherfucker was body slamming them using illegal chokeholds. And he admitted using it. He said that it was allowed. He said wasn't nothing gonna happen to him too, didn't he? Barb Johnson, Bobby Joe Champion, Joshua R. Williams, juvenile diversion leader, Barack Obama.